Last thing. Whoa. One last thing. All right. What's up, everybody on YouTube? We're about to be live on TikTok. All right. Live on TikTok.
Ain't nothing like some good old Colombian coffee at 2:40 in the afternoon.
I had to cut myself off.
I just got me one.
Oh,
Nice
Lord.
one in.
Oops.
Y'all got me on this coffee shit, man.
Yeah,
When
got
I drink
myself
coffee,
hooked.
I make 500% or more.
That's funny.
When I don't drink coffee, I'm only hitting 100%.
Might be a correlation. Hold on 1 second. Smush this down. All right. What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. If you're just joining us, just starting, so no worries. We are about to start recapping. If you're watching this back on YouTube, today was a pretty good day for a lot of different folks. USAR went and slapped its target, empty space prevailing again. Meta swing was nutty as it filled up all of the empty space up to 640, trimmed. That ended up being a 2100% fucking trade. At the end of it, I had like 3 contracts left, which was like equivalent to about 150 bucks in total, which you would have originally invested, and it was about 2,800 bucks. So it was pretty insane. But that is again targeting empty space and nothing else, because everything else is hard, and I don't want it to be hard. All right. It's hard. I don't want it to be hard. I just opened my own TikTok. All right. All right. Now we don't need to go through the ETFs, so I'm going to finish here. We'll talk about whatever trades that you guys are in as we go into 3 o'clock. So if you guys have anything that you're trading or swinging or about to take or you already took, you can go ahead and comment those. But again, Meta is well, I will say this, with that strong, this is one of the bigger candles it's had. Usually this happens, so I am actually looking into some weekly contracts, maybe up into the top here, using a fraction of the risk that I used today. But it is 658 or 650, 675. I want to just remind everybody, this is not empty space. But if you do look at next week's, because of all the empty space up in here, right? for those of you looking at longer expirations, that could be something to look at, seeing as we have as long, and maybe we get a honestly, it'd be awesome if we got a retest tomorrow. A quick bounce or gap down to 640, and then that gives us an intraday entry. So we'll look at that as we get towards the end of the day, but there is some empty space beyond that. We're trying not to chase here, but we can acknowledge that, you know, a lot of the rips that we see like this usually happen in 2 to 3s. So even if it is a retest back down here or even a box, we might be still looking at a higher time frame retest.
Next week is earnings.
That's good to know. That is good to know. Okay, so yeah, actually I had an alert go off on MSC, which is American Semiconductor here. Watching this one as we get towards the end of the day. I see a first target on the 24-hour at 36.85. That would be the most recent, you know, price target. There's also 38, which was our previous resistance, but I think that 36 kind of serves well. Other than that, right, this is a tremendous amount of empty space. I'm not going to be intimidated by it, but we do have to acknowledge, right, that even if it wicks out and gets up into this area, it can reject, right? It is not fully bullish until we, in my opinion, are above 39 or basically coasting above $40. That's when I think and based on previous price action, it goes, right? And it fills up its empty space. It definitely is going to need some time, but it fills up its empty space.
The contracts are monthlies. Would you do just a month or next month?
Oh, depends on what you want out of the trade. If you're planning on taking it all the way up into the 46 area, that's something that you're going to have to, you're going to need to be, a month might cut it. Yeah. Anything else, you're going to have to stack probably another month on top of that. So $55 would be a potential target up there. 46, first target up above. We'll explore that one a little bit more. All right.
Yeah, I get confused whenever the contracts are monthlies.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Oh, am I talking? No, I'm not. Well, yeah, so ELF today has been holding up. It did go into a little bit of lower time frame wickage and structure. Still hanging on to this. I mean, I'm just updating you guys. But we did hit one of those price targets at 95.13. It's pretty cool to see this thing just coasting to the upside. I'm in this for the long haul again, so this is just a pit stop on the way to continuation to the upside. So yeah, go ahead and drop your request. So Apple, how'd that do today? Terribly. Figures. I hate trading Apple. Yo, so that is actually peep game on this one. This one held down. I mean, seriously, all the way down. And this is a terrible setup anyway. And this is the type of setup that can and will fuck traders up. I think I mentioned that this morning, right? That little cage. You're in between here and here. This is proof. Go back to this morning's YouTube and go look for yourself. One of the things that I mentioned, right, was that because Apple was opening up in between what it needs to recover and what it would need to lose, it's going to smush. And that's exactly what that smushing looks like. This is how I avoid trading shit that doesn't make any sense, right? Had it maybe touched the 251.96 in pre-market, okay, we could talk shop. But that didn't happen. And this is one of those setups where you have to say, listen, this is where it's like you might make an excuse for it in your mind, but in the reality, things have to happen in order, to set other things in motion. 251 had to be recovered. So as of right now, the analysis is you're on standby, right? You're in between two structure. Now you have a lot of rejections off of 250, but that's building a box for you. So I would say at most, we're probably with this third rejection, I would be looking at Apple going to 248, 12. If you fall fast, you stay in this range more than likely. Sorry. All right. What's up, Sun Pocket? Lunar. Hold a second. Bring my own shelf. Oh, I don't like that. All right. Yeah, that was a 2,000% gain for this person right here. Pretty wild.
Damn.
Yeah, damn is right. Today was one of those damn days, dude. You know what I'm saying? Alrighty. So let's see, what else do we got? I know some of you guys are in Geo. That one's looking good. Nice, good candle close hold right there. Let's see. What do you want? Who's watching something on Crunchyroll? Let me see who it is. It's Big Poppy. Watching With the Sun at His Back, Season 3, Episode 14, Fire Force.
Damn.
How'd
Very
you get
good.
all that information? Jesus.
Right.
Listen, listen, I got connections. When you fuck with Assad,
God
you know,
damn.
just kidding.
His job the season and the episode? That was nuts.
And what he paused at.
Yeah, he's probably halfway through that episode now. All right, let's see. I know what you guys are doing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Santa Claus.
Well,
I
shit.
see you when you're sleeping. I see when you don't enter your
See when-
trades.
Hey, you see when I pout or what? Oh,
Nah, dude, I
that's
can't
right.
even look at you when you pout, dude. It's disgusting. All right. All right. Anyway, so Lunar has what, a box in front of it, and you tap. Damn. Talk about a solid ass target. So what is above and what is below? Box. Damn. Look at that. That's money. I would say right now you're still bullish, right? You got a good candle here. You're looking at a. It's so money. You got a lower time frame punchback at 2050, 2146. I round shit up a lot. And I'm also excluding these wicks. Chill out, bro. Yeah, so that is 2150. 2150 and might be able to get things started to that 2376 where Lunar has some lunar opportunities, I guess, if you will. I think that empty space got filled though, right? No? Damn. That is set, yeah, 80-50, which is a long ways away. So I probably say like a little bit more of a modest target, like 30-69, maybe 35. USAR is lit. Yeah, did you guys get out of that one? How'd you guys do on that trade? Climb down my chimney, Potter? All right, I take it back. Also, you know, no. I bet you take a look at Santa Claus's lungs, dude. He's probably got fucking coal mine lung, dude. Black lung. All right, let's see here. BA went well today. Not well enough. But yeah, it did go well today. It hit the imbalance on the diddly dot. And it's just kind of sitting under there, but it hasn't lost anything, which shows bullish intent. So I like that one. Did I take a look at LRN? Someone mentioned it before we started live. I did, yeah. That one looks, you know, it's a lot of empty space. I'd love to know why that happened. But I see a target directly ahead of you at 77. That is the target I see above me.
They had bad guidance after their last earnings.
Okay. Yeah. So for Boeing though, the remainder of the targets up there through the empty space at 259. So all right, gold shorts is going good for me. What are you guys shorting? Are you doing GC? Or are you guys doing GLD? It's going well. Holy shit. You guys must be down here. Okay. Yeah, yo, if you are shorting that for a retest, you got a kick-ass lower time frame stop loss. If I would take that to 48. It's not bad. MGC? Okay. Micro gold futures. I mean, simple retest there. What's the lower time frame look like? No structure. Everything's lower time frame here. So it looks like you already punched through this lower time frame box. Hit the first red candle to your left, which is tiny. So it looks like if you're short, you want to avoid reclaiming 49.18. And you do have empty space up there on the 3-minute. So if this climbs up and gets through that little shoulder right here, you'll go and tap that 49.29. But that's good to know if you're short or you're tall. Doesn't matter. All right. Let's see here. Micro gold. I mean, again, if you're asking me this about on the higher time frame, I mean, that's 4 bars in a straight row, right? And if you look on average, typically after about 4 to 5 bars on a ripper, you get a little pullback or something of that nature. But, you know, I'm not in this environment. Playing with fire. You might be you might pull out a gym, but all right, NOW. Let's see here. We got, so what did we bounce off of? We made it halfway there. And then we're curling back up. So you are making a substantial move back up to try to reclaim that, which needs to be just a little bit higher. So let's look at that on the 4 hour. Ooh. Whoa, calm down there, buddy. Buddy. Don't like that bug from.
Another pair of shoes gone.
You know what? Let me keep my shoes on for service now, dude. I know better. My shoes, I might put my shoes on. Rookie, are you in the Discord? If you're ever thinking about taking a position in the moment or at the end of the day, that's what I'm here for. You know what I mean? It's like try to, or if you're looking for a particular candle close, like I can help you with the confirmation on that. All right. So, I mean, as far as recovery is concerned, you're above where you need to be. The current 129.80 is where you're going to need to reclaim. I was a little bit off on my box, but that's okay. So it looks like double tap right. So, I mean, yeah, you're not obviously not guaranteed, but you definitely are in the position, having crossed that median, to go make your attempt. Now, the first and most obvious area of retesting is going to be off of that. And so I'd be looking for that 133, 134. But if you're looking at this on a lower time frame, I think the next target's going to be right there at 136. The contracts do suck. What would I have taken? Nothing. Usually it's because the contract. I've tried to trade this a couple of times. I think I got away with one decent trade on this because of earnings. And that was the only thing. Yeah, that's one of my no-nos. Shopify flutters pretty much is on that list. So yeah, we talked about that one this morning, right? It looks good. I think maybe this morning. Good bounce, good flip. Did we talk about that candle bounce yesterday, right? I got a goldfish memory. So anyway, the next target's 1160 and 1242. You got a nice empty space in front of you, and then $13 basically is where structure's at. Potter God told me you will give me a 5,000% trade. Damn. You sure you got the right God on the line? I would double check. 5,000% trade. I mean, we'll see. I hit a fucking fatty today. Now that looks good. Better. Sorry, let me use the right verbiage here. That is exactly what I mean by closing green in the wicks. Right? So you might see a retest off of $9, but otherwise, I'm not doing it. But just kidding. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm not. The 950 is the first target. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it unless you're taking it all the way. You know what I mean? And that would be in the $10 area. So that's a weekly flip play that needs to flip. So
I got February 20th $9 strikes.
I mean, it's not a bad setup. I mean, and, you know, maybe I just got my feelings hurt on that one.
Probably. I'm pretty good in the money now, so I'm just gonna hold these.
What strategy do I use? One that I built called the Potterbox strategy. Which one do you use in your free boot camp? Oh, what do we got? Amazon to the upside. Say word. Boot camp. What if boot camp is where you just force people to make boots? You know, that is so that just goes to show you how weak Amazon is, or it went and tapped exactly off of 50% of between here and here, and the lower time frame is going to be the next. So you're going to have to get rid of all of this, split this range in half. I mean, you are falling fast, but you are 100% losing that top level. So the signal up and out for Amazon is going to be over 235 to get that gap. Now, I think where we find a floor, which might be because, remember, when we do not have any insight on what is inside that empty space, it'll be the lower time frames that give it away, right? So what are we bouncing off of now? The same thing we always bounce off of, right? Structure, a box. Tiny as it may be, but it is still cost basis. Again, if I was making this shit up, that shit would not line up ever. I would look like an idiot all the time. But beautiful 1 minute, right? So this might be where you can close this back up by the end of the day. It's 3 o'clock now. So I would say you need to get to moving here, get back over 234.50, and get up into that 234.80 to set up for a nice break to the upside. Oh my God. Do I like AMD? I kind of threw that one in the trash, man. After I did what I did to it, I skedaddled. For continuation, however, that is not a bad bounce and recovery. However, you have not recovered anything, so a gap up at the lower time frame should tell me more. There we go. So let's look at the hourly first. $30-minute next. Always lines up perfectly. You know what? It doesn't look bad for a gap up. It does not look bad for a gap up. It does look like it's operating inside of a lower time frame channel. And that might be restrictive because, again, you're flying into not uncharted territories, but very thinly resisted areas. So it's, 258 would be the first logical target directly up above you. And the issue is if you gap up to that target, you're going to pull back. But if you gap up above that target, you should gap and go. And that would leave you with one target, and that would be 263.62, and more than likely all-time highs. Prayers for me, guys. I shorted Meta today. Yeah, let's take a minute for him. Everybody just bow your heads.
Everybody just moment of silence for my boy.
Yeah, moment of silence for Christian. Shit, that made me a Christian, dude. Ouch. You tried to short me, dog. Yeah, empty space up above. The floor got recovered. Nothing is lost. I blame Christian. Walk me through. So instead of just wallowing about it, right, or even laughing about it, what was your thoughts? What trigger or what on the chart said after this candle, right? Which again, if sellers do not want floors to get recovered, then they're going to push price as far away or down below something that they can control. They had the opportunity to do that, and they did, mind you. They did, and they failed. They pushed it back. They failed. It closed in that space, And not only did it close on that space, but it closed up against right at 616. Even if it pulled back, it still held. I don't give a shit if it falls fast, as long as it doesn't lose anything. So honestly, I don't day trade. I options trade if I actually paid attention to the charts. Might have paid it. Oh, okay. So you went short on it. Right. Okay. So this was like an intraday trade. Listen, you can learn from it, man. That it's your choice what you do with this experience. You learn from it, you get better. So, I mean, I can tell you why. Obviously, I just gave you one insight as to why. But one thing that I look for price to expand rapidly. And if you're watching this live and you never watch me again, you don't have to like me, but empty space will save your ass. Empty space, if anything, is probably it's one of the most important things I teach. Floors get recovered, separating you from empty space. If you grab them, you go. Right? And how many examples of that have we seen now in the last couple of weeks? Bam. Right? USAR. Bam. Empty space. Right? Give me another one. That's so many I can't even remember. Geo is actually starting to do it right now. Elf is getting there. It just moves in fucking slow motion. It actually has hit structure. So it expanded rather rapidly for Elf and hit structure, and now it's pulling back. So yeah, for sure. I bought February 6 contracts. I might just hold. Oof. Okay. So, I mean, I'm actually looking at potentially taking this long with a retest tomorrow off of the 640 floor. Now, if that 640 floor is lost, you might be in luck. But even then, right, it would still be back down to 630. That would have to be lost. So I'm actually, because remember, this is all a game of push and pull. When sellers break a buyer's floor, they win. And the goal at that point is to make sure that price does not recover, or think of it this way, like a fucking laser, right? And if you set the laser off, buy orders fly in. And if you're a seller, you're trying to keep that from happening because buyers buy at the floor. Once cost basis is lost, the whole shit breaks apart. And with a large candle like this and nothing pushing us back as we near the end of the day, at most I call for a retest of the floor, but we're looking at cost basis now tomorrow. So we'll see. But listen, when you take a trade, and this can, Christian, for you in the future, when you take a trade, you must know what is above and what is below. So that way it's not an emotional aspect or something that you're still going to struggle with that. But knowing that something is going to go in the opposite direction is how I hedge, and it's how I plan my trades as far as stopping out. So in the future, and again, if you learn my strategy, I don't know how well you know my strategy or if you know it at all, but that is what I'm trying to teach is, by the end of the day, you think about it common sense wise, if price doesn't, fall, at the end of an auction, we would expect tomorrow that it picks back up at the same or maybe even a higher price due to speculation on eBay. But same thing, right? Is that price not being pulled back, or we're not seeing anybody selling off, that means buyers are still pretty confident. So we'll look at this closer as we get into the day. So you tried to short Poppy. Yeah, what's up?
Look at MGC now.
Look at who?
Look at MGC now. Whoever requested that.
Did it do it?
Oh my God! They did the nasty punchback. It's about to go into all-time highs.
Oh shit! Yeah, so that's that empty space, right? And if you did stop out at, dude, that shit works. So right there, you guys just got a live example of how when you fall too fast and then you don't lose listen, this for sellers is like a death candle. When it pulls itself back up above something that they just broke. Dude, it's one of my favorite candles for reversals. One of my favorites. And that is the whole concept behind a punchback, right? It is pulling yourself back up. But
I fucking love it, dude. Doing this for futures on the punchbacks, that shit works, bro.
Yeah. But it even works in just your ability to know when to get out, right? Because you understand that empty space fills quickly. So even if you had taken the short off the top, you would know that you're about to get stopped out here. So it takes the emotion out of it, because it's all, and the better you get at it, the more clearly you can look at the chart without an emotional, the emotional variable, which, you're still a fucking human, you're going to feel it, but it gives you a clear cut, like, all right, nope, this is going to be going in the opposite direction. How many, listen, did we not talk, even though Hood didn't work out, or even Pinterest, right? Sad. Did it not do exactly what we said it was going to do when it triggered to do it? Did it close at cost bases? Yes. Did that trigger a punch down to the floor? You're damn skippy, and it hit the fucking green candle over here. Yes, I'm looking at Pinterest. I'm glad that it's consolidating and not breaking it. But, all right.
Just let it cook, right?
No, Kroger didn't. Kroger hit my floor today twice, and then look. This goes right back to the system. I didn't get into Kroger, but 63.85. I was a little busy with Meta, but 63.82. Right? You tried desperately multiple times on the 4 hour to pull yourself back up. When you did, you were given the opportunity to raise price higher. Now, is Kroger done? Technically, no. Right? Did it leave empty space behind? Yes. Right? Is that empty space separated by that wick right there, which is retesting your previous resistance and floor? Also, yes. But as far as something bullish that has been lost, no. Also, no. So, yeah, I mean, if you have a long enough expiration and you're still okay with holding, I would explore that. I actually just found you today. What's your strategy and what kind of trading do you mostly do? I have my own strategy called the Potterbox Trading System, or PBS, peanut butter sandwich. But a lot of the information that I'm discussing right here, definitions and all that other shit, that is on YouTube. I mostly swing trade because 80 to 90% of the market movement is outside of trading hours. So, for example, Meta, which I swung yesterday, was already up at the bell, basically already up to my target of 630. Oracle TikTok deal just went through. What about it? I don't know why I looked at Tesla. But yeah, most of the trades that I take, I'm almost, in a way, it's like a hybrid between swinging and day trading, because I do take longer expiration contracts and I hold them for weeks or hold them for days. But I'll also swing into what I perceive to be day trades because of the empty space, which the reason that I held in Meta was because of this large pocket of empty space that we had today. The reason I didn't get out is because when we hit it, we did reject, but we didn't lose anything. All right, I have 2 shekels. Please get me 3. I think you fucked up. No, just kidding. All right, what else do we have? It is 3:12. I'm going to take a second here to Tesla to the moon, Poppy. Next week's earning. Listen, if this candle holds where it's at, I could definitely see it pushing to, obviously, to the top. My next target's going to be 257.68. But for me, it's not worth it unless you're looking at 474.30 to the upside to fill the gap. This would be surpassing, right? So, I mean, that is the strongest resistance, which is 467. So, I mean, I can't argue. You have recovered what you needed to recover. You've held what you've needed to hold. And unless something changes between now and the end of the day, you might be looking at worst at a retest off of 443.50 tomorrow, which is the box that you broke to get here. All right. Yeah, I blame Christian. If I wasn't doing analysis right now, I could break down my strategy a little bit more for you. We do that a lot. In most of the lives, I'm always answering new questions. So if you stick around and you ask more questions, watch my YouTube videos, yeah, Your niece is listening. Hope she learns because she isn't allowing me to. I'll have some stern baby words for her. Yes. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, Rogati's looking naughty. It's not here yet, but it is. No, I didn't know. I have not gotten into that. Nikki, did you see this though? Remember I told you? I haven't got to talk to you since then, but it happened. Cool to explain that and then have it happen so I can see it works. All right, snow up. Oh my gosh, gouge my eyes out. It actually isn't that bad, and I'm just being so. So is this a pot? So out of all right, this is going to take a little bit of a deeper dive for sure, because we have to pay attention to what has held us down, right, and where uniformity lies. There. So these candles at 207.75. This is a little bit more complex, right? Because it's not a box. But I know that there's empty space here. I know there's empty space there. I know there's consolidation here. So yes, I can see this. I could see this trade actually filling all of this up. And maybe even more. I mean, it has a lot to look forward to. But we're going to pay attention to this floor right here, which is also your imbalance. Am I losing some of you? Probably. The imbalance is just a fancy way of saying the 50% mark of the candle. All right. 50% mark right here at 213.35. That would be your first target. But yes, you are closing green inside of where most sellers have kept this red. So I don't hate that at all. I like the empty space up above you. I like your first, and it's not worth it to TP here. I mean, if I'm taking a trade, I'm taking the trade, right? And that would be like 220. And I mean, this is where we start to think about, well, what if 220 gets hit, and that's a big ass green candle. So there's a multi-tier trades here. I would still have a good expiration, at least a week out. Obviously, we're at the end of the week, so. Maybe weeklies if you're fucking around up to the 215s, but I didn't say it. I'd never do that. ACHR looking better today. Still giving me nightmares. All right, so we're back to that discussion of closing inside of the wicks. You are. So this is bullish, right? Sellers tried to do their job and they failed right after. Remember what I said about these candles are their worst nightmare? That's the worst nightmare when you fail to break what you intended to do or intended to break. So I have nothing negative to say to this. You are closing above where you need to. The target above is, again, I don't think it's worth it unless you're looking at 1050 or up into 1077. So SMR. That's the first candle that's closing sort of in that space. That's not like excitingly closing there. So I'd still say 2117 needs to get going. It's not like you don't have more of an opera, but I mean, let me not over narrate this, because at the end of the day, this is what I mean. Everybody, if you are learning, this is what we look for. A little bit more exaggerated than the majority of the stocks that we would normally trade. But this is by definition, the analogy that I use for rock climbing. That's what you want to see. This is the price that buyers hold. You want to see that if you go up to cost basis and you don't have the volume to get there yet, if you pull back, that's fine. But you must hold the floor. And I would say you're doing a pretty damn good job of that with the tension that it has. 23 and then beyond because of the empty space. And it does get to moving. And it does get to moving out of these same consolidation setups. So you even look right here, and it's not even, it's not the most perfect candle close, but if you start to really tell the story, right? And that's what, as you get better at this system, you can actually narrate. Again, what is their worst nightmare? To lose a floor and then have buyers regain it. Next candle, Gap up. Retest. You don't lose. So, almost 10 years. Like nine now. Something like that. Elf rejected. Me think me going to take me. No, this is okay. That is okay, man. I'm in equity. This is like a bank account for me. So, I mean, I've already surpassed what my bank would have given me in a year. Yo, did somebody just give me money on YouTube? No way. $3 from Mr. Rodriguez. It's like Mr. Rogers, but different. Do I know? Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't know that was, yeah, Loki kind of forgot that was a thing. You ain't got to do all that, though. All right. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and settle in really quickly. You can still drop your requests, but I am going to really quickly turn our attention to the queues. Now, I'm kind of done with a lot of the ETFs now, but we do, as a group, and just as those of us watching the ETFs, I think somebody said it was going to crash like 6% today. But the question I have now is this enough to get to cost basis? It has, since November of last year, continuously refused. And when it came back, when it fell down and grabbed more volume, it repeated this process. And I can't tell if exhaustion is going to kill sellers, because eventually, the more you see this, the more candles are up in your face, right? The more likely that could occur. So as far as a position, looking to take a position right now, I will not be participating in any sort of Q trade. You're free to speculate. There is little pockets of empty space above and below you. This could probably make for more of a fun day trade. Now, I can and will only say this, and you take this information how you wish. This is either a retest, or this is either a floor being reclaimed. And there's a lot that actually comes with both of that, right? If it's at the floor and it's looking to reject, can we find that setup on a lower time frame? Is the first question you need to be asking yourself. I would say ever so slightly. But you still have to lose both of these to start making any move to the downside. Is this filled with empty space? It is. So I'll leave you with that. I, again, probably will not be participating. I still see a 624 target to the upside, like I said yesterday. We got pretty close, but 620, 250 refuses to break. So, all right, let's see here. The house always wins. What you saying, Willis? All right, now turning our attention to IWM. Finally got a little bit of a pullback here today. Nice little lower time frame box, double rejection, and it looks like we're possibly still on our way, yeah, to retest that 269. So we can look back only at the cyclical nature of. I don't trade, so if you're new here, I do not trade at all-time highs. That is not my cup of tea. I'm okay with that because I like and prefer the structure in between structure. However, I am, and we are very observant on waves, or how long certain stocks or ETFs run by nature, right? When they come out of expansion. And for IWM, it's about 2 to 3. Right, on average. Going into all-time highs, same thing. Candle is closing green. And let me just go ahead and preface this with, I'm not taking this either. We're doing well, and I'm not pushing the issue. But if tomorrow we were given the opportunity to take this short, it would be inviting to take it down to 267. That is there. But as far as I can tell, I would be expecting a tap around that 269.25 or just your open. So, all right. Thank you guys for tapping the screen. I appreciate you. Yeah, Meta was a 1,200, or excuse me, 2,100% trade. We had a couple of people cross that 2,000% threshold. Today was just as damn good as yesterday was. Ivy, that profile picture. Tisk. Yeah, this is, let's see. Oh, that's disgusting. Even worse. Beautiful. USAR. Jesus Christ. F the Lakers, dude. What? Brother.
I seen that one. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, but he banged out the fucking. He's had multiple of these, like like big
runner.
Yeah, man. Wow. Oh, that's right, Abbott. Yeah, you're living my fucking dream, dude. If you guys have been watching me for any, I don't. God, I don't even feel good about calling it. I don't even like it. Fuck the Potter box, man. Yeah, I don't know why I missed this one. It just flew off my radar. But yeah, dude, you killed it. You killed it. I called it, but didn't take it. I know. You know what though? It is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's keep going. All right, so for IWM again, just 3 bars. Speculate how you want to, but again, if you're trying to preserve capital, you're taking trades that only make sense with our system. Period. Again, the USARs, the Meta, the fucking AMDs, right? These trades are already over. The Abbott Laboratories. Yeah, so. All right, last one. SPY. Today, we hit my target. And again, the question has to be asked. Is this a retest? Or, right, is this potentially setting us up for the punchback? Now, I'm not very fond of responses that lose the floor. You just lost all your hard work after retesting, filling the gap, and now you've pulled back. Now, have you lost anything substantial? Like that level? No. So we're still in limbo. I, for one, wait for signals to come to me. So if SPY is planning on going to all-time highs, it more than likely will retest this 686. But yeah, Geo, yeah, we got a handful of members in Geo. If you guys are on TikTok, if you guys don't mind tapping your screen, this is all free. If you have any questions or want to ask other people inside of the Discord their experience without my influence or me saying something, you can feel free to do that. Don't ask Diddler anything, please. Thank you. Diddy's fine. Diddler. You know, Jose. No, not you, Diddy. Diddy, you're good, man. You're clean, dude.
I swear might be gone.
Yo, that's a throwback right there. He said I gave you snow. That's a throwback, dude. That's a good one, dude. All right. If you try to join my Discord, wait a second. Please take a minute, watch this stream, go to my YouTube channel. Slow down. If you're brand new and you're just watching me, please slow down. Just watch. I will be teaching you right now. You can ask me questions, all that other good stuff. We'll be live a little bit after the bell, too, to answer questions. So, all right. So all 3 ETFs leaving us with a little bit of a question mark as far as direction. I think that's okay, right? We've gotten what we wanted out of a lot of these ETFs today. If you guys go look at the Gains channel, we rode the wave, right? If you guys are on TikTok, we rode the wave. I mean, crazy waves. Yeah, ridiculous. So with that being said, these are the moments where my mind goes back to preserve capital. What does everybody do after everything rips? They run to the charts. They run to take trades, and then the market stops. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I don't see a trade directly up in front of me that says that it won't. So I'm going to remain on standby. If something changes by the end of the day, we start losing floors, things turn red, my opinion can change there. If you're an IWM, it looks like it still wants to go and touch that 269. So, all right, let's go ahead and get to the request. Again, I'm mostly closing out a lot of the option trades. I'm pretty much done for the week unless something looks absolutely delicious, as it has been this week. I got to stop looking at your Abbott gains, dude. It's fucking driving me nuts. It should have been me. How did you set up TradingView so that the box your chart on one time frame is different than the other? I will show you how to do that really quickly. So you're going to grab your rectangle, you're going to double click on it, and you're going to go to coordinate, or excuse me, visibility. It was already there. And you could click on the times and hours and where the separation needs to be for that particular box. I kind of let them just all run together. I don't know. I delete them as I need to because, like, you know, I got autism, so I can see it. All right, let's see here. Yeah, go ahead and drop your request. I'm going to go as quickly as I can. I'm going to let you know what if I see empty space, if I see a good setup, if you're obviously looking at an entry or whatever it is, ask me, and we'll go from there. Also, if you have made a massive bag, remember, take that bag and put it in your bank account. It's okay to start over again. We're getting towards the end of January. It's time to pay yourself. Test yourself also as well. So the first one is Geo. You're doing good. Everything's fine, right? And this is how Geo moves. Pay attention, right? The stock has its own little personality. This is private prison, so it's pretty dark. But look at these candles, right? A lot of wiki price action, but does it still do its job? It does. It fills up empty space. It does fail a punchback there, but with empty space up above you, the only obstacle that I see in front of you is 19 bucks. Okay. So you're still good on that one. Yes, I am watching Regati. I'm watching Regati. Watching. Key. I will be looking at this one towards the end of the day, though. It's got some juicy setups. All right. ALK earnings. Now, the first question you want to ask when you're looking at earnings. So if you're new here, I do trade earnings with low risk, but I only look for very specific setups that basically are the same setups that I would trade any other day. Now, going into earnings, you have this box up above where you refused cost basis at 52.50, separating you from empty space leading all the way into the 58 range. However, in the same breath, the same box that you broke out to get here is what you're holding right now. That separates you from a retest there. So that could set up a straddle, as I don't see any indication that this one wants to go one way or another. But I just missed out. I just didn't do what I said I was going to do. Does it move? No. 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 Negative. That kind of moved, but not really. No. No. So immediately, that was the only time it moved, and that was in 2023. So take your chances if you want to, but that's the kind of shit that I'd crumple up and possibly throw in the trash. Now, if I was to lean in one direction or another, the fact that you're going into earnings stuck underneath both floors does lean a little bit in the downwards direction. So maybe 44.67. I personally will not be participating, but it's not the worst. You do what you do. You do it. Not me. If you like it and it's low risk, do it. Do
Hey,
it.
Potter, can you look at Rigetti again and tell us why it looks good? Because there isn't clear space on top, right?
You said it doesn't feel safe?
I mean, there isn't a clear, like, I know what you call it, the punch up thing.
It's not a clear setup. No, so I said this morning, and you are absolutely correct. And if anybody in this mother feels any sort of uncomfortable, right, or doesn't have the risk to put into this I wouldn't. Here's the reason that I am playing this, right? Rigetti is extremely consolidated, right? Normal consolidation will lead to pretty normal expansion, right? Now, this is just coming off of its floor for the 1, 2, 3, fourth time now. It has one overhead resistance, and inside of the lower time frame, I see pockets, right, of empty space here and also above. So the real analysis is this is just a tension break. I think it's worth the risk to reward playing out to these targets, possibly into the 30s. And if, and this is what I'm trying to do at this present moment, is make a determination. I think it's bullish at the moment on whether we have empty space opportunities down. Again, I'm waiting on the chart will tell me. But as we get into the end of the day, the 24-hour, not really much. The 4-hour, however, is starting to look really interesting. So for me, or for you, it is more based off of the fact that it has abnormally consolidated. Thus, the tension should be big break. Tighter tension, bigger break. It's my thoughts here. And let me let's do this. Let me show you a live example of something that I took off of the same concept. Is there a ton? There was empty space above, but it's not pretty. It's just not, right? That is empty space. We did take that into consideration, kind of pockets, but it was this abnormal, tight-ass, clean consolidation that led me to say, yo, this thing is going to go. And did it go? You damn skippy. It kept going. It kept going. And then it stopped.
AMD had the same consolidation.
Yeah, just bigger. But yeah, so is this completely adherent to everything on the 4-hour? Actually, it is, but it's not as, is it, this is good. This is a good learning opportunity, right? To pick what's good for you and what's not. Is it Celsius? No. Is it Carvana? Actually, that's the wrong setup. Whoops. Sorry. Kava. Sorry. Is it Kava? Not quite. Also, keep your eyes on Kava coming in the next couple of weeks. This one should be building, I think, back up. Might go fill its empty space. If you have equity with me, you're still Gucci. There's still a juicy ass play for the horse food stock up to $85. That's where I get the feed for my horses. All right. You probably want a longer, you want a little bit longer contracts on the Rigetti setup. When it doesn't have, now if we get an opportunity to take it at its break, maybe we are allowed to cut that down a little bit. But all right, let's keep going. So AMSC, which has, yes, you are correct, buns ass contracts. Now it's teetering away from the resistance that I wanted to see it push over. So I will remain on the sidelines as we wait for a very clear floor reclaim. So we can either wait for that 33.32 and look for 34.66 to reclaim, but above that, it is empty space. Now, in terms of contracts, ISRG, I looked at that one. How do you chart stock if it's at all-time highs and on IWM? I don't trade all-time highs or all-time lows. I just don't. Instead of focusing on something that I wasn't good at, I focused on what I was really good at. And the more that I do that, and the less that I worry about shit that I can't do, or like, can I make money from trading in pockets of empty space? Yeah. So I focus on that, and I don't know how to trade all-time highs. I mean, other than Fibonacci retracement or extensions, channels sometimes help me. I've been pretty lucky with channels, but I trade what I'm good at. Focus on that. A lot of people try to get good at what they're not good at instead of focusing on what they're already good at or what they're already starting to they have a better understanding of. A lot of the times it's the ego because they want to be a scalper, but they don't have the, they just ain't got it. The nearest target on AMSC is They're not that bad. I mean, they're ass, but they're not like the worst ass. Yeah, I mean, they're not bad. I'm on them is nice. Okay, so we'll come back to that one, but the alert is set. The contracts are honestly very good. Oh man, Velcro baby. Hold on one second. Okay, there you go. All right, let's kick it up a notch here. It's 3:39. INTC earnings tonight. I can't say anything other than I have a target up above. You're dead slap center in between the two areas that I need you to hold, or you might retest. I really have no deeper insight on this one other than yes, I do see 56.84 directly to the upside, and would suspect that that would be your nearest and most likely target. Other than that, Thor, I would say this is definitely something that looks like an earnings run. So I wish I had something better to say on that one, but I'd be cheating you out of what the hell? Oh, I remember that. I remember that. That shit low key did actually dump. It came back though. Cost basis. Again, if I was just making this shit up, this shit would not fucking line up. But you are at cost basis and you are being held down. However, you have not been pushed down underneath anything that you have reclaimed. You also still leave on a lower time frame a little bit more empty space to the upside. So 1772 would be your goal tomorrow. You're also going to try to make sure you maintain highs above 1738. That green line right here. Hold on one second. Wee. Uh-oh. Okay. That's giving you a perfect setup to curl up and tap that tomorrow. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, that would be my next overhead target for, and then you're looking at this going on a, I mean, this has got to be weekly, right? So your contracts better be long. You got 2 weekly boxes. And I will say again, what is buyer's worst nightmare? One of these. So you're in good shape to get through these, and that is a very significant floor that you need to recover right there. So 18 bucks is going to be big. All right, let's see here. ACHR, I did that one right. Yeah, I did that one already. CVS Papa. Yes. Yes. Your candle closing outside of 8106. The only thing that serves as resistance here would be 8282, which is also simultaneously a floor that's directly up above you. Bullshit, but and then 24 hour, right? This is the weekly. 24 hour. That's going to raise up, right? And it's going to be right here at $84. But there is more empty space to be filled up to 89.34. And so if you're looking at this, are you outside of this major area of concern? It's a little scary, but the only reason I say that is that it literally looks identical to the cues back last year. Look at this side by side. Tell me that doesn't look that yeah, it's damn near identical. But that being said, it's not the fucking cues of CVS. You are candle closing on the 24 above the wick, so you look great, right? In terms of that, anything else is going to be determined by a lower time frame setup, which, yep, there's your imbalance on the wick as per usual, right there. I know, man. I'd just be saying, you know what, Mako, you're banned. You know what? I curse you with 300 Baba trades. Ah! How about that? Send him to the Baba Gulag with Baba Yaga. ISRG did make an extended effort to stay down today. That's staying down below that floor. You got nothing but empty space up below you. There's your box. So you are in a 4-hour box, and that might be the only thing that can save you here. But yeah, it is a gap down or candle close below 521.50, and you've got, you know, a very large area of empty space to tackle. First target probably 495 there. So, all right, moving on. What else do we got? Trying to get through these guys. I promise. All right, speed run. Fig to 30. You don't really have any structure here. You're just coming off of a first bounce, so I can only give you a target of 29.13, which is the open directly up above you. If you feel the gap, watch for a retracement down there. You kind of want to build a box similar to how you've done over here. But if you notice, it's that first open over here that you end up resisting. So I expect the same price action on that one. The GameStop, no way. It's been a while. Old friend. So there's not like a particular setup that I see here. I can recognize, however, that there is still empty space, and they like to jerk the GameStop people's chain every once in a while. So what's substantial, or what did it need to reclaim that? What did it punch through to get here? This. What is it currently tapping? That same mark. So 23.55 will give you a 24.86 price target. What's in between that and that other empty space is also pretty empty. So we could probably chart that right there. Or no, you know what? Shut your mouth. That's not where it goes. It goes here. And then we'll go to the 1 hour. Little pocket, right? So, I mean, it's there. You need major juice. 15 minutes left. AA up. I am not trying to swing anything down. You can speculate on IWM, but I'm watching the cues till we get to the end of the day. But no, my instincts are telling me. I mean, it's also partially because I mean I've made, you know, a lot of money today, so I have accomplished to this week. This week in particular was huge, so I'm looking for the same exact setups that got me in that situation. And it's trading everything else that gets me out of those situations. So Alcola is on the 4 hour today tapped. So today's high is going to lead you to cost basis, which is 65.50, which, yeah, that could, because if you look at the 24 hour, you got a decent little box here, but that's just what you're in, is a box. Now, there's a great play on Alcola, and I have no doubt that it will be taking its trip up to 78.50 in the future. But I do believe that 69.70. What did I draw that for? Okay, so yeah, no, I was right. So 66.50 and then 69.76 is where this play goes for the rest of it.
Hey, Byron, when you have a chance, can you look at PLTR down? Looks like it's closing in the wicks.
Did I look at that earlier and then not finish the analysis? I think I did.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, I looked at it earlier and didn't finish it. I think it's because it scared me.
Don't be frightened, my child.
Oh God. No, it does. I'll just put it this way: it doesn't make a lot of sense. Not here. On the weekly, it makes sense why shit looks the way that it is, and it also really looks short, at least to its floor. But on the 24 hour, right? Oh shit. On the 24 hour, yeah, I mean, you engulfed the bounce candle here. You're now closing at that floor. This has been the area to bounce. So PLTR's last chance is 163.15. If not, 157.69 and the floor of 152 would be your most obvious target. So it's a tough setup, man. It really is. Being inside of so every stock goes through the same cycles that I explained on the 24-hour, like the 3 waves. You might go through 3 weeks, and inside of those 3 weeks, you might have one of those weeks be half sideways and then expand the rest of the way, leaving it with a weekly green candle. But those same cycles, right, that you're seeing on Palantir, that you're seeing on NVIDIA, right? I think Apple was in that category, but it is no longer. But that type of price action is consolidation on the weekly, which operates the same way as every other time frame, just doesn't happen as often. That's one of the reasons I've stayed the fuck, excuse my language, but honestly, it's the only thing that's appropriate here. Stayed the fuck away from NVIDIA. I have not taken this. I think we once, last year, there was a day trade on it. But as far as like any sort of, nah. Yeah, it was up in here. All right. Hey, JD, what about Marvel? Not so good. You shot up into that space. You did not have the volume to get it done. So how does that look on the 24-hour? So this is where things get weird, because you have to look left and you have to say, well, what have I lost? Technically nothing, right? The only thing that I would say you have is the 83.50. But as far as floors, you still have an opportunity to potentially bounce at 82. Let's see if the lower time frame backs that up. Hourly. So this kind of is very similar to PLTR, and it's under the price action that's underneath it. Nothing clear structurally, right? Lots of empty space. So looking at this right now, I would look tomorrow, right? You need to fall fast. You need to dump, and you need to hit 81.50. And I think from there, that might set you up to go and get that empty space. But when it shows that it doesn't have that buying power, you start building a box, set an alert, leave it alone. Baba Curse is hilarious. Cold-blooded. Yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry. Procter and Gamble. Yeah. As far as the chart goes, this might be the worst. But it's one of the, it's a dinosaur, and it moves like a dinosaur that is still alive, which is not well. So it's options, no. Equity, you might be headed for something decent like 154. And if that's reclaimed, this is back to like solid basics where you're just looking for cost basis and perhaps in the, long dated future, potentially all-time highs. So what confirmation when it's ready for entry outside? A candle close outside of it, outside of whatever consolidation that you're looking at. Okay. Intel short here, sue me. All right, dude. Send me your lawyer's paperwork. No, just kidding. It's 2026, man. I gotta start suing people, dude. I don't know why. It's just the vibe. No, I can't really comment on it. I mean, I could see a retest sure off of 5075, but I also see 5788 overhead. So I'm not taking it. I that kind of rip into earnings throws me, oh, holy shit, no way. No way. Yo, holy shit. You asked me about this like a decade ago. Not really, it was like last week. Did you take that? Damn. So that was a picture perfect textbook punch back, empty space, hit the floor, pull back, and now you're retesting. This is bullish, right? It is bullish right now, especially with that candle yesterday. So at best, we're building. We have more empty space above. Oh, it's damn good. I definitely like the fact that you came back and retested. So go to the 4 hour. Oh, juicy. 2 hour, even juicier. That is a succulent Chinese meal right there, my friends. You got a gap fill in there too. Sheesh. You got a little baby channel. Aw. That baby channel was born like 3 days ago. 2 days ago. 1560 needs to break. Second target 1717. Third target 1850. StubHub, not bad. Essler up. I'm going as fast as I can, guys, without compromising.
Meta.
Look at meta. No, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Stop it.
Hey,
Don't make me do it. Actually, thank you for reminding me.
it's churning, man. It's churning.
Brother, I thought I churned it. I thought I got all the butter I could out of that. And you know what? There was better butter. But I let it go. The next target is 658.
It's like an old girlfriend.
I have, please, never. I can't. Oh my God. Please hold on.
I got some 622 Qs for tomorrow. All right, I got to get out of here. I'll have a nice day.
Brother. Ivy, can we get that soundboard? It's like when talk shows are about to go to commercial. Whatever that music is. We'll be right back. Yeah. I had a 2,100.
Bacon is tasty. Chris McSizzles is on the scene.
I think so. I just looked at Marvel. Oh, God. Dell, Okuma. How are you getting tied up tonight, dude? No, I'm sorry. Anyway, you hit cost basis today and you lost your floor, so I don't know about any more upside. Let's see. Are you falling fast? Yeah, you are. Okay, so you might be able to save face right here at 1567, but gap filled, the empty space above you is lacking. Let's see the 24-hour. What is it below you? Damn, man. Dude, boxes are cool. I like boxes. Yeah, so that is that's pinned, bro. I would actually, with the gap down below you, I wouldn't be surprised if you fucking build a box workshop. I'm sorry if that was disappointing. XYZ, when did I enter my meta trade? On the 21st in the morning. Holy shit, dude. Damn, you guys remember when we took that? It's always 50%, man. I don't want to give it that floor. I don't want to.
I was getting ready to ask you that. I was like, why would you give it that floor instead of where you had it originally?
Because the chart speaks to me, brother. And it's touching the median when I give it the whole thing. When I put it on the candle close right there.
I be doing feeling that sometimes, but I question myself, so I would pull it back up where the candles and wicks meet.
Well, here's what I also can do. I can get rid of that. I could do this. I could do this. Nope. Come here. There we go. I can do this. Look what I can do. And then I can also do this. And that would be the trade plan. So above today's high, the target would be a retest of 67.31. Because of the empty space beyond that, you could try to take that up to the box at 69.20. But anything beyond that would be risky because of the massive wall. No wonder you got your ass kicked back down to where you started from. All right. All chart based. Everything that I do is technically based, and I think the people in here can tell you it works. It works. It works. Yes, we do. IWC? Microcap ETF. Okay, so from the highs to the where you broke, I see a retest of 174.22, and then obviously you have a gap fill and retest of 172.80. That seems obvious. However, there is not a lot of structure anywhere between. That's what I thrive off of structure. I thrive off of points of contact, and this thing does fail to provide both of those. But typically, once the 50% mark of anything is broken, you can expect continuation. What is that name? Miss Worthfart? Hold on. Worthofart? Please tell me how to pronounce that. I can't tell if the... Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. All right, let me see here. Qs. Take a last little look. Ah, that doesn't look short to me. That looks like my target tomorrow. Right there. Mark my little words. Shit, if I was futures trader, that's what I'd be targeting. Miss Worth of Art? Oh, work of art. Oh my god, dude. I gotta go to church. No, it says
target on the Qs.
that one.
I
624.
I can't see it. Oh, 624. Okay.
Yeah. What are you
I see it on
doing?
the 622s. Walking
What?
up a hill, heading to the airport.
All right.
Activities.
Fucking gas.
Listen. Those two sentences don't belong together. He said, I'm walking up a hill going to the airport. Is not what I expected after that.
I parked my truck at a lot nearby, and I walked to the get a shuttle to the rock art boats.
Yeah. Huh.
Now, did you time your landing with the podcast?
Say you talk.
When
What'd
you
you say?
made the reservation for the plane,
Oh shit.
you figured you'd land at a certain time, you can listen to the podcast, right?
There you go.
Yo,
I'm heading your way.
what are you
New
in?
York City.
What are you in right now? Holy shit, 245%. What is that? Gold? Suave? Oh. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, dude. I read it's $1 million worth of art, and I word it Mrs. Worth a fart. This is why that right there was proof I'm not a genius, dude. Somebody with a high IQ would have seen that. They'd been like, "Oh yeah,
You know
that's
who
worth."
Mrs. Buttersworth is?
You know what's so weird is I said that, and I smell syrup right now. I swear to, it smells like warm pancakes in my office at the moment.
Mrs. Buttersworth came to town.
Down, yeah, with Tony. I'm sorry.
The family was really pissed about that. You know?
You know what? It had to happen. All right. That wick on Meta. What happened? What happened? What the fuck? No. 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 No.
You get out?
No. I mean, I got out of those contracts, but I grabbed 660 calls with light risk earlier. I mean, I don't like talking dollar amounts, but we capped 18K on this trade alone. So I put 500 back into it, and I didn't want that to happen right now. Belgian waffles sound good, dude. I actually make some bussin' ass waffles. I'll make some good waffles.
I got 655 for tomorrow.
You're a bad man. Damn. I mean, regardless, it was a blessing. And then that and AMD last week, man. I mean, seriously. I have no more shoes left. All of my shoes have holes in the tops. My toe.
Are you speaking figuratively or?
No, dude, it's true.
Come
Told you.
on, bro. Can't ask him a question like that. You know, it's figurative.
What if it wasn't? What if you meet me, dude, and I've got like my
I'll
toes?
send you. What size are you, bro? I'll send it to that PO box. I'll send you a pair of shoes, man.
Send me those.
People that don't have shoes.
No, dude, I have. Actually, if you actually, do what's mad funny? Go look on TikTok. Actually, there's shoes right behind. My shoes are behind me.
That's an old Italian thing, bro. We gotta have shoes, man.
Oh, I have.
Because we were poor when we came to this country.
Yeah. I don't know how my family was when we came to this country, but it was bad enough that everybody gave each other up for adoption. So probably wasn't great. I'm sorry. Yeah, AMD was a monster.
There's a little Potter everywhere.
Yeah. Who knows, man? All right, guys. Yeah, on that one. Listen, so before you get to crazy on, listen, Meta, I had 3 runners. Now, at the original investment, those 3 contracts would have been $150. When I closed that trade out exactly at where I said I was going to, at that 243.50, it was worth $2,800. 3 contracts worth $150, $2,800. I trimmed on that trade alone 4 times. So. But what listen, when you take profit, right? Like if you take a trade and it's like Celsius or something, point A, point B, no breaks in between, totally fine. But if the chart says, and only if the chart says that there is potential continuation, I mean, look at what AMD did, and I didn't even get all of that. I took the trade here, right? Because this was all, excuse me, mapped out. We had, for those of you guys who weren't there, I'll recap this for you, really. It's honestly the same setup. I think it wasn't off at the top. It was off the bottom. So trend and channels, right? Those are meant to be broken. They're just forms of control. They also do not dictate breaks or whatever. Like those channels and trend can be recovered. So what's horizontal is always more important, but the fact that we did have points of contact establishing trend, not a trend line, but a trend. And here's the key. All right, here's the fucking key. Donnie J. Epstein just followed me. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I should say thank you or get a restraining order. But there is empty space. There is empty space. There is empty space. This is what allows, and I think a lot of you guys are fully convinced now, that is what allows price to move rapidly. That is what allows you to grab contracts that are out of the money and low risk and hold them to your target. And then when they get there, you have the liberty, if the chart allows, right? So dive down here with me on the hourly. One of the first signs of a reversal is that the floors that you have lost get recovered. You'll notice here on AMD, it wicks off of its floor, makes a new low. What is a death candle, right? Any candle that loses a low and then recovers. And in this case, you recover above your pre-market highs. Explosion, right? Price ends up moving up, leaving behind more empty space. Now, if you are bearish, right? Remember, sellers have a job to do. Their job is when you hit resistance. Go look at any chart. When you hit resistance, you pull back, right? When you look overhead here, rejections, price falls. That means sellers are doing their job. When you hit something and price falls but doesn't lose anything that you have gained, we're still bullish. So looking at that trade at the end of the day, seeing that we are still well above what we needed to recover, I have the ability to say, well, if we lose 206 or even gap down underneath that overnight, I'm only looking at 205 to bounce. But outside of that, I got to get out of this trade because it's going to keep falling down. Lo and behold, cost basis. Where's the majority of the volume inside of the 50% markup a box? I just said the answer. Whoops. Where's the 50% mark is where the volume is at, and immediately we start moving, right? Where do you pause? Cost basis. What's above you? Empty space. Where do you pause? For the love of God, when the empty spaces ends. I'm going to keep doing this all fucking year until everybody in here is either hates my guts or they're profitable or both. Trade station. Trade station. All right. Yeah, those are my shoes. Those are cool shoes though, right? I need honest opinions. What are people's thoughts on this one? I think Jorge made fun of them, so I don't want your opinion, Jorge, if you're here. But those are sick shoes, man. I was proud of that purchase. All right. Billy Hillen said, let's party. I love that. All right, guys. I've got to learn this. If you want to learn this strategy, all of it is in the workshop. I've got the YouTube channel and these lives. If you want to check out the Discord and just see what it's like, you can. It's $80 for the monthly, and then you get it back if you decide to upgrade. So, all right. Apple, I did this one, man. I really just don't. Right now, it's stuck in limbo. Actually, holy shit. No way. Yeah. Oh, damn. So tomorrow you can look for a reversal trade. No shit. So look at that. Look at that. Well. Damn. Well. That also on the money. Yeah. And if you guys have any questions, you can ask people who have taken the workshop, what their experience are or has been. Oh yeah. Anyway, for Apple tomorrow, here's your goal, brother. You're gonna want to start this way. You're gonna want to recover 249. You have empty space all the way up through that old box, leading to 250, which actually this box has now expanded itself, right? So we're looking at filling up that empty space and then a break over. Period. End of story. A break over that 250.80, and you're looking for a 251 recovery. And at that point, you could start looking at the gap fill, which has kind of already gotten filled. It's not my favorite trade setup. I don't trade Apple anymore. I kind of retired from the Apple. Let's see here. Last runners. What'd you get, Michael? Casual 557%. Not bad. See, you took a little INTC gamble.
Yo, have you taken anything on the small account?
No, man. We're just getting into
Nothing,
earning.
right?
No.
Started that like months ago.
Well, I would even say started it. It's just
been
last earning
limbo.
season was trash, and then this earning season we already charted half of it, and nothing was like standing out super clear. Might just have to launch it out into the market regardless.
Yeah, right. Just throw something in the fucking.
It's
throw it
hard
in
to
the water.
manage, man. I say the same thing about Peyton's account, because you guys will hear me be like, oh shit, I forgot that I had, like Peyton has 5 contracts. Like, I don't think about that. If I see a great setup, I want to make money on it. But I'm focusing on finding solid, especially if we were to, and I think this would be a good experience even if I don't do it. But like I thought, if we don't end up finding anything earnings wise, I might just trade IWM with it, purely, just to see what I could do off of that. Trade in
Yeah,
waves.
that would be dope.
Well, it is the best. I think it's the best stock for small accounts to trade, because you can get away with. Not even get away,
Yeah,
but you can.
contracts are so cheap.
They're so cheap and they pay so well. And the setups are clean for the most part. So, SMCI is now on the shit list because all of that volume overhead is obviously weighing heavy. You tapped right there, right? Which isn't, exactly where all, but that is the floor that needs to be recovered. So, at the moment, you're in a build right? That's what your hope here is, that you build. So I'd like to see, maybe price retrace back into this area and then back up to try to go for that punch back. So. Yeah, you got it. All right. Anything else? What else had earnings today?
I think ISRG.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, ISRG. Damn, dude. Oh, that's right. Okay. Oof. Dip and rip. We'll see. What does he got to recover up? Because it's already wicked pretty hard off of that. Nothing major. Allie, I don't do anything for penny stocks at all. I actually started you fucking around with penny stocks years and years ago, and yeah, I don't do that. I watched a coworker lose $20,000 though doing that. That was pretty crazy. Jaw dropping. I would wait for confirmation, man. Ben, sometimes what people will do is they'll take a expiration that's longer on a trade that still hasn't confirmed, and then they justify hanging on to that contract because it's a longer expiration, which has nothing to do with anything, right? Like, sure, maybe you could tolerate a little bit more, but at the end of the day, if the trade's not set up, the trade's not set up. So I did go over the Qs and ETFs. It looks like end of the day here, maybe earnings affect us a little bit, but oh shit, no shit. So little 15-minute box held us back. So we'll see where we open up. But I just didn't see anything for today. I do see a dump potentially down tomorrow. So a couple of trade setups, right? I see this target overhead, and I also see this target down below, which is that empty space. So those are day trades, but what about this chart right now is telling me to take either one of them? I do see the potential to go punch through overnight and hit that 624, but is it worth it contract wise? I'm not really sure. So if I'm not sure, I do not do. Does anybody have any questions? I know there's a lot of new folks here that are watching me for the first time. Where this is your first week or so watching me. If you have any questions, now would be the time to ask them, strategy wise or whatever. Thank you guys for tapping your screen. Appreciate you. My sis, by the way, I'm also streaming this. Is this a new account? Yeah. Hold on a second. Everybody make sure they bundle up if you're on the West Coast. Oh, look. No way. Ivy, look. I didn't even mean to post it like that, but it framed. I got a YouTube face on one. Look at that, guys. I got one of those surprised ass YouTube faces. I didn't do that on purpose. I swear to God. You really got some shitty shoes in the display set. That was good. I love when people go right for the throat. He said, "You really got some shitty shoes up in there." Whisper Trades. Yeah, you probably see me around. All right. What is the best time to enter or get confused? So I get confused on my entries. So I think the decision has to be, you know, if you see a 24-hour candle close, like, what are you looking for out of the trade, right? Establishing what that setup tells you. Is it a swing trade? Is it a day trade? Once that's done, right? Like let's use Celsius as an example, and you determine, you know, you're going to be swing trading this up to $50, and you want to take a break candle close outside of 45.26. So this would be an acceptable day to take that at the end of the day with an acceptable expiration, looking for the floor of $50, right? But a lot of people don't like to do that, right? Or a lot of people, including myself, will, as soon as I find a 24-hour time frame setup, as soon as it's done, this is a good setup, I like it, I move to the 4-hour. And what I'm trying to do is establish confluence between the two, right? I just want the two to line up somehow. And while I do that, I'm able to see in greater detail what exactly does need to happen as we move down, right? So had you seen Celsius above 45, that would have been an acceptable entry, right? However, on the 2-hour, it was right here that you needed to climb up and above. So if this happened, and I don't think that it didn't actually take off. So I can't, you know, this is all make believe. But if this did take off intraday, you would use the lower time frame setups to take those trades. And what you would do is you find a 2-hour box like this that needs to punch through or get over that 45.69, and you keep dropping down, right? Does that price mark still hold up? And again, we're envisioning this moving quickly. So it could be a pop out and a retest, kind of what you see here. But the further you go down, right, or the further that setup, because this is top-down analysis, the further down you're able to find the same setup with the same candle close, you can now use that lower time frame as an acceptable entry. So you're just using a lower time frame setup on a higher time frame resistance to take that trade. Because as above, so below. So if the lower time frame has a setup to go break, then you could use that lower time frame setup to get you into that trade. But if it's a 15-minute setup and then you go to the 5 and you can't see the same structure, which usually you should be able to, then you would use the 15. So this is a Swiss Army knife for any setup. We can utilize our top-down analysis. And a lot of you inside of the Discord, when you guys go through, like say you went over CVS, you should be doing that together every time frame. 24, 4, 2, 1. If you have any special ones that you like, same. Am I watching INTC? Not from a profit perspective, no.
Yo, did you check out Tesla?
What's happening?
Well, go look at it.
That is an acceptable 24-hour candle close.
Tell me not.
Looks great.
I got the alert after hours.
I mean, it looks pretty good intraday too. I ain't gonna lie
Yeah, I
to you,
didn't. I didn't see it. That's a fat green can. That's 2 fat green candles.
Yeah. That is
Some big boys.
Oh. All right. Gains page looks
earning.
hot. What is
I
this?
think earnings is next week on Tesla.
I believe so, yes. Hot dog water. See how they're like no setup, no move. Like INTC, did we see a clear setup? No. So we don't. I don't. ALK doesn't move on earnings. Now it can. One of my favorite things to do is go through things that have had earnings and then go and look at if they did not move, that means they're packed with volume. Give them a second. They more than likely are going to move. So None of these move. None of these. I didn't ever even heard of that bank. That looks like a scam. Mm-mm-mm. Beautiful. All right, Potter. How to get the right contracts? No, that would not be true for an hourly box. No. I don't know what this is, but oh, you know what? We talked about this one. That shit looks like it's on a railroad. Listen, this candle on INTC tells me nothing. This INTC candle is useless. Unless what, folks? What does it have to do to be not useless? Lose something, right? Has to lose something that it's gained. And as far as the most recent price action is concerned, this tiny little box is holding us back. So maybe we dip into the 49.17, but that's a lot of empty space. That's a gap. And I'll give you fast dumped just like that. But what did it lose? Nothing. And look what it's doing now. Not losing anything, trying to go and reclaim his floor and give us a 45.60 target. So, all right. Nice. Good day. Good week. So far, good month. The world's on fire. That's okay. Not really. But I will see you guys tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. We're early. Remember, we're on YouTube, TikTok, and inside of the Discord. We're not trading on live for TikTok and YouTube, but we are live for pre-market and for the close. So we will see you guys then. If you guys have any gains to post those. Also, I don't hate it when you guys post your gains on my videos on TikTok. Anyway, I'm out. Peace out. You guys have a great day. I'm gonna go play Fortnite with Ellie. Me going to take me on live.